to YouTube, our YouTube channel, and those of you that have subscribed to our channel. Thank you all so much for the support. We really appreciate it. I know our content hasn't been uploading as fast as it was, but that is because our children are still home. So they're going to be going to school here in just over 2 weeks. So we're pretty close, and we're going to start putting more content out again in the coming days and weeks ahead as they go and head back to school. So, which actually worked out because for whatever reason, I haven't had a voice for almost 2 weeks, and it still feels like I'm struggling to push my voice out, which is just weird. But outside of that, we do have lots of fun things going on as far as the business. We're actually going to be putting out a couple of videos. There's one I'm in the process of editing right now that I will probably be scheduling here in the coming days. We actually got more cars for our die-cast metal collection that's inside the house. So I'm going to show you some of those cars. And another video that we're going to plan on putting out is we have a car that is on recall. So we actually don't have a remedy for this car yet, but it is scheduled to be fixed sometime in the third quarter. So in the meantime, we have it sitting here, and it actually was involved in a small fender bender, and we are actually in the process of fixing it. So I'm going to let you take a guess on which car it might be. It's probably hard to guess considering I have 11 cars, but this is the current state of said car. There is a missing fender on our Jeep. So I actually went through the steps to remove the fender. I actually put a little bit of shrink wrap on here just to protect the engine bay and keep any bugs from getting in there. So we have the fender removed because I'm going to go back here and go get the fender. Excuse the mess in the garage, but here is the fender, and this is where it was crashed. And so it's actually it looks kind of small on an angle, but it's pretty significant. So we're just going to go ahead and just replace the whole fender because we are going to have to repaint the entire thing. And there's really, I can order a brand new fender and have it painted. The only part that I'm going to have to redo is the pinstripe, which is going to suck. And so we actually have to remove all these tabs and put the new plastic piece on. So the plastic piece is actually another piece that I have to order. So we're going to be doing that. And the other thing that we're working on with this car is I'm actually going to get the wheel bearings looked at. I don't know if the wheel bearings are very good on this car. So that's kind of, we just need to do a full suspension overlook of this car just to make sure that it's in good shape, because we definitely want this car to be reliable for our guests. We want them to actually enjoy what they're driving and not feel like they're driving a pile of junk. I know you're going to look at this video and be like, well, it's a Fiat Chrysler product. Yes, it's a Fiat Chrysler product. I get it. But there are still things that you can do to make the car run and drive in as excellent a condition as you can. So we have that going on. So we're probably going to be putting a video out on that one and what to do with a car when it's on recall. So that would be why the fender's off. We don't have a fix until Q3. So sometime in September, we'll likely have this car back on the road and ready for bookings. So it is perfectly fine that it sits with the fender missing for now. And we have this car back from a rental as well, and we're going to be doing an oil change and a full detail. It is going out tomorrow morning. We've actually had some changes to our airport delivery process here in Jacksonville. So the cars are now required to be delivered to the airport directly. So we can't use any of the park and fly lots. And so we have actually been parking these cars in the airport parking lot in the hourly garage. So it's now walking distance for our guests. It can be a little bit more costly depending on when you arrive. So we have to make sure and account for that. And for us, we don't have any, we don't charge the guest anything to leave the lot, the guest actually gets to take cash. That's actually our new method, is in the center console of the cars, we keep cash in there, and we are doing a pay it forward system where we will have the guest leave with the ticket and use the cash to pay to leave the lot. And whatever is left over, we ask them to leave the cash inside the car. There are going to be some probably dishonest people that may take that cash. I figure that's maybe 1 in 10. And if that's the case, so be it. I don't really mind that. But it's a way for us to, make sure that our guests are taken care of, because you can charge guests to leave the lot. You can tell the guest when they leave that they have to pay, but we don't like doing that, because I look at this in a situation of, if you're renting from Avis or you're renting from Hertz or you're renting from any of those big companies, you're not paying parking to leave. So it just seems like a very clunky experience, and I don't want to do that to our guests. I'd rather have a guest pay a delivery fee, which they do, and after they pay the delivery fee, the parking cost is covered by us as part of that delivery charge. So it usually works out pretty good. I haven't had a whole lot of guests complain about that. I've had situations where I've rented cars and I've had to pay the parking. It's not terrible, but I just don't find it to be ideal personally. So that's why we're doing this new pay it forward system, and it's been generally pretty receptive feedback. A lot of people really like it with the pay it forward system, and we've been getting into cars after rentals have concluded and there's still cash in the car that's left over for the next trip, which is fantastic. Helps us save money. So that's kind of the deal with the airport. So it's actually, I like it because it's more convenient for our guests. They don't have to go very far, and all that fun stuff. So outside of that, that's pretty much where we've been as far as the YouTube videos. There are going to be more that are going to be uploading here very soon here in the coming weeks. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Day's going so good so far. Thanks for asking. My kids are inside right now, so we're going to get ready to go eat lunch here in a little bit. So that's where I have been in the last few weeks. So I just thank you all for, putting up with me, and, not being up, as quick with uploading videos as usual. Question, do I like the Scat Pack? Yeah, I mean, it's a nice car. If you're asking would I put it on Turo, I would be a little bit more leery. I have been a little more gearing towards practical cars because there are unfortunately people that like to abuse these cars. And so if you have something that is a little more sporty and, people want to do burnouts and things like that, I don't want to deal with things like that. I don't want to have to replace tires. I don't want to have to go after a guest that isn't being honest with me, that kind of stuff. So that's, that's kind of my stance on it. As far as the car itself, if you're asking me just about the car, I mean, I do like it. I haven't driven one before. I'd love to drive one, but is it going to be on our fleet? Probably not. So, but yeah, so keep an eye out for more videos here in the coming weeks. As I said, a couple more weeks. August 12th is when our children are going to be going to school, so that's when I can get back to my usual thing of doing content and uploading for you all. If there are videos that you want me to cover, if there's anything you want me to talk about, feel free to let me know, and I'll be happy to cover it with you all, whether it's something related to Turo, whether it's my cars inside, the diecast vehicles that I have. We actually had a video that a lot of people really liked that had the unveiling of the entire fleet of diecast cars. So that one's a fun one. And then, like I said, we'll probably do a video for this Jeep. But yeah, as long as it gets you from point A to point B, absolutely. That's my goal with these cars is people are not going to drive a Jeep Renegade and spin the tires and do burnouts. Like, that's just not going to happen. So, I mean, I shouldn't say it's not going to happen. There might be somebody that's that stupid, but they're not looking for a car like this to do that kind of stuff. So, do I earn enough from Turo? Absolutely. There are definitely some up and down months. So, you kind of have to be prepared for that. Generally, like August through like January is when things kind of start to die down. There's a little less traffic in here. And then January, February picks up a little bit, but not very much. And then March is when we get into spring break. And really, March through July is kind of where you start to get as many of the bookings as you possibly can. So it's a constant game. I mean, with Turo, there are a lot of hosts in the area, and you are fighting for that placement of your vehicle and just trying to push yourself up to the top of the list and making yourself affordable while also making money. So there's just a ton of stuff to kind of keep in mind when it comes to these listings. You can't just list a car and leave it alone. I'm looking at them, I'm changing prices, I'm updating my advance notice. If there's a car that's sitting for 4 or 5 days, I will clean it up and I'll put myself on an hour notice so somebody can book it last minute. There are a lot of different things that I do to make sure that my cars are getting booked. And even in those circumstances, sometimes they don't. So it just kind of depends on, the situation. But to sum up the short version of that long story, yeah, we definitely earn enough from Turo. I left my job in May. There's a video on our YouTube for that, where I quit my full-time 9-to-5 job so that I can focus on this. And part of it is the money, but then part of it also is because I'm more present for my kids, and I'm able to be here for them, for summer vacation. So, would it be considered enough to pay the bills? Yeah, I mean, you definitely can look for a car that fits your budget, that also is going to be sought after. There are people. I definitely like a lot of people's methods of getting cash vehicles. So looking at maybe go and look for one of those if you have capacity to be able to pay for one. And when you're looking for something like that, definitely, try to find something that that would make sense. If you see a lot of Toyota Corollas, then maybe that's one that you don't necessarily, maybe you do want to look into, maybe you don't, depending on the availability of those cars. There's a lot of research you want to do in your area to find out if you want to get a car like that. So it honestly just depends on the first off the overall cost, and then the earnings over time, and then having an exit strategy before you even pick up the car is probably a good way to look at it too. Because if you have an exit strategy before you pick it up, then if things don't work out, then you can turn around and sell it off if you have to. So, all right, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. I want to thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this and just getting a feel for where we're at as far as uploading videos. And like I said, there's going to be more coming. So keep an eye out for those. We'll do one on this lovely Jeep and where we're at there. And then just give us maybe an overall business update as well. So, and keep an eye out for the one with the diecast cars. If you're a diecast lover, you'll want to see those. I know my son loves them too. So he's been walking around looking at all of them as I post them. So keep an eye out for those. If you need a car in Jacksonville, you know where to find us. Go to AchuRentals.com. We have everything from compact cars, that size now. Our Spark is obviously gone, but we do have the compact car, and we still have a minivan ready to seat your 7 passengers nice and comfortably. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for the support, and hope you